I've got this buddy, Jake, who's been my ride or die since we were 14, sneaking Monster Energy drinks into the local roller rink like we were smuggling state secrets. So when he texted me last month begging for a job hookup at my company, I should have been all over it, right? AITA for refusing to recommend him because he's flakier than a Pillsbury biscuit, even though he's now calling me a backstabbing traitor? Here's the deal. I work at this tiny, weird startup called Nimbus Grid. We're tucked in a converted warehouse next to a vape shop and a taxidermy studio, and our whole gig is designing eco-friendly drone delivery systems. It's me, 5 other nerds, and our boss, Priya, who's this intense woman with a sleeve tattoo of circuit boards and a habit of eating kimchi at 9 a.m. meetings. The team's tight. We've got a group chat called Drone Zone, where we meme about crash landings and argue over who's hogging the 3D printer. Point is, this job's my baby. I've been there 2 years, clawing my way from intern to lead designer, and I'm not about to screw it up. Jake, though? He's a walking chaos generator. Picture a lanky dude with a man bun, always wearing flip-flops even in January, and a vibe like he's perpetually auditioning for a stoner comedy. Back in high school, he'd ditch plans last minute to meditate with his ferret, R.I.P. Stinky, and in college, he once ghosted our group project to chase a girl he met on a conspiracy theory forum. Love the guy, but reliable? Nah. Last year, he borrowed my Switch for one night and returned it 3 months later, sticky with what I pray was Mountain Dew. So when he hit me up on WhatsApp, "Yo bro, hook me up at Nimbus Grid. I need cash," I hesitated. We just lost our logistics guy, and Priya was on a warpath to fill the spot. Jake's smart when he wants to be, and he's got this knack for charming people, so I almost caved. But then I remembered the time he swore he'd feed my cat while I was at a conference, and I came home to Mr. Whiskers glaring at me over an empty bowl, surrounded by takeout bags Jake left as a peace offering. I couldn't risk that energy at work. I told him no over beers at this grungy arcade bar we love, the kind with sticky floors and a Street Fighter machine that eats your quarters. "Dude, it's not personal," I said, dodging a sip of his warm IPA he'd abandoned on the table. "You're just not dependable. Priya would fire me if I vouched for you and you flaked." He leaned back, all dramatic, flipping a bottle cap between his fingers. "Wow, man. I thought you had my back. What happened to loyalty?" I laughed, couldn't help it. "Loyalty's a two-way street, Jake. Remember when you left me stranded at that EDM festival because you had to find the taco truck?" He smirked, but I saw his jaw twitch. "That's cold, bro. You're choosing a job over me." It blew up from there. He stormed out, leaving me with the tab, and the next day he started spamming our old group chat, me, him, and our buddies from the rink days with passive-aggressive memes. One was that "friends don't let friends down" quote over a sad puppy, and another was just Judas in all caps. Then he slid into my DMs. "You're a traitor, man. I'd have your back no matter what." I fired back, "You'd have my back if it didn't clash with your nap schedule." Radio silence after that. But our friend Milo says Jake's been ranting about me at his D&D sessions, calling me corporate sellout Chad. Work's been tense too. Priya hired this quiet guy named Leo who organizes his desk like it's a Tetris game, and he's already killing it. Meanwhile, I'm paranoid Jake's gonna show up at the warehouse with a megaphone or something. Dude's petty enough to try. The Drone Zone chat's buzzing about my friendship drama now. Someone even made a gif of a drone dropping a sorry note. I'm half laughing, half stressing, because if Jake keeps this up, it's gonna leak into my real life even more. I get it, he's broke and I've got a sweet gig. Maybe I could have coached him, given him a shot. But I busted my ass to get here, and I can't babysit a 27-year-old who still thinks I'll figure it out is a plan. Still, seeing him paint me as the villain stings. He's been there for me through some dark times, like when my ex dumped me and he dragged me out for midnight nachos. Am I overreacting? Should I have risked it for him? Now I'm Traitor Chad to half our crew, and I'm wondering if I'm the asshole here. Reddit, AITA for not recommending my unreliable best friend for a job at my company? So, I snagged this big project at work that my coworker was gunning for because, honestly, I knew I'd crush it, and now he's giving me the silent treatment like I stole his lunch from the break room fridge. ITA for taking it even though it's tanked our vibe? I'm a graphic designer at this quirky little agency called Pixel Paddle, housed in an old boathouse on the edge of town. The place smells like damp wood and coffee, and we've got a resident goose, Gary, who honks at us through the window when we're late with deadlines. It's just 7 of us. A scrappy crew of creatives who live for tight turnarounds and clients who think, make it pop, is feedback. I've been there 3 years, and I'm the go-to for anything involving bold typography or hand-drawn elements. My desk's a mess of sketchbooks, half-dead markers, and a chipped mug that says, Ctrl+S saves lives. My coworker, Ethan, is the other heavy hitter. He's this wiry guy with a buzz cut and a wardrobe of ironic band tees. Think Nirvana on a Tuesday, Spice Girls on a Friday. He's killer with minimalist layouts and has this weird habit of tapping his pen on his nose when he's thinking. We've always had this friendly rivalry, like 2 dogs circling the same bone. We'll riff on each other's designs in our Slack channel, #PixelPuns, and last month, he sent me a mock-up of my latest poster with Comic Sans plastered over it, captioned, "Fixed it for ya." I retaliated by photoshopping his face onto Gary the Goose. So our thing keeps the vibes light. But then this project dropped. A rebrand for a local craft brewery called Hoppy Hollow. It's the kind of gig that could get us noticed, big budget, full creative control, and a chance to pitch at a regional design expo. Ethan wanted it bad. I overheard him pitching ideas to our boss, Mara, about sleek bottle labels and a muted color palette. Solid but safe. Me? I saw something wilder. Gritty illustrations of the brewery's mascot, a drunk rabbit named Sir Hopsalot, paired with neon accents and a vibe that screams, "Drink me at 2 a.m." I knew I could nail it. So when Mara called us into her office, her standing desk wedged between a paddleboard and a fern she calls Fernie Sanders, and said, "One of you takes this, decide quick." I jumped. "I've got this," I said, sketching Sir Hopsalot on a napkin right there. Ethan's face tightened, but he just shrugged and muttered, "Cool, whatever." Mara nodded, and it was mine. The fallout hit fast. I spent 2 weeks locked in, blasting lo-fi beats through my headphones, sketching rabbits with beer mugs until my wrist ached. Ethan stopped slacking me. No puns, no jabs, nada. I'd catch him glancing over from his desk, lips pursed, pen tapping double time on his nose. One day, I tried breaking the ice, tossed a Sharpie his way and said, "Wanna doodle a drunk bunny with me?" He caught it, set it down without a word, and turned back to his screen. Brutal. Then, at our weekly critique, I unveiled the first drafts. Sir Hopsalot mid-chug, neon foam dripping. The team lost it. Gary even honked approval through the glass. Ethan just stared, then said, "It's loud," and left for coffee. He didn't come back for an hour. Now it's awkward as hell. The brewery loved the pitch, and Mara's hyping me up like I'm the second coming of polishers. But Ethan's gone full ghost. Won't even look at me when we pass the Keurig. The team's noticed. Our intern, Jinx, keeps whispering, "Did you guys break up or something?" I heard Ethan tell Mara he's fine. But yesterday, I saw him delete a Hoppy Hollow mock-up from his tablet. His version? All clean lines and muted greens. He didn't even save it to the cloud. That hit me. Maybe I should have let him have it or at least talked it out first. I knew I'd kill it, but he's good too, different, not worse. I just saw my shot and took it. I'm proud of the work, but the boathouse feels colder now. No more goose memes. No more Ethan smirking at my typos in Slack. I keep wondering if I was a dick for not stepping back, or if he's overreacting by icing me out. So, Reddit AITA for taking a project my coworker wanted because I knew I could do it better, even though he's shut me out completely? So, I finally told my boss I'm done working overtime for free, and now he's branding me as some selfish lone wolf who doesn't care about the team. AITA for standing my ground even though it's turned me into the office pariah? I'm a line cook at this place called the Rusty Ladle, a 24-hour diner stuck in a strip mall between a laundromat and a pawn shop that's always got sketchy dudes lingering out front. It's not glamorous, think grease-stained aprons, flickering neon signs, and a jukebox that only plays Springsteen on loop, but it's my gig. I've been here 9 months, flipping burgers and perfecting my hash brown game. The crew's small, me, two other cooks, a waitress named Dee who chainsmokes out back, and our boss, Vic, who runs the show like he's auditioning for a Gordon Ramsay biopic. Vic's this burly guy with a buzz cut and a gold chain, always chugging Red Bull and barking orders through the pass like we're in a war zone, not a diner that serves $6 meatloaf. I don't mind the grind. I've got my system: chop onions with my left hand, flip patties with my right, and keep a damp rag tucked in my waistband for the inevitable grease fires. Dee says I'm scary efficient, and even Vic once grunted, "Good hustle, kid," which is basically a Michelin star from him. But lately, he's been pushing us to stay late, way late, without clocking the hours. It started small: "Hey, stick around to prep tomorrow's chili, won't take long." Then it's 1 a.m. and I'm still scrubbing the flat top while he's in the office scrolling X on his phone. No extra pay, just a slap on the back and a team effort, right? I let it slide at first. Bills don't pay themselves, but after 6 weeks straight of unpaid 12-hour shifts, I was done. Last Tuesday, it hit the fan. We'd had a rush, some trucker convoy rolled in, ordering stacks of pancakes like it was their last meal. By midnight, the kitchen looked like a crime scene, batter splattered on the walls, a burned spatula fused to the counter, and Dee yelling, "Where's my damn hash browns?" Vic comes in as we're closing, tossing his Red Bull can in the sink, and says, "Need you to stay and deep clean the fryer." Health inspector's sniffing around. I'm wiped, my sneakers are soaked in grease, and my back screaming from hunching over the grill. I snap. "Vic, I'm not doing it off the clock again. Pay me overtime or I'm out at 12. He freezes, eyebrows shooting up like I just spat in his coffee. "What's that supposed to mean? You're not a team player now." I shrug, wiping my hands on my rag. "I'm here every shift, busting my ass. I just want what's fair." He scoffs, loud enough for Dee to peek through the pass. "Fair? This place runs on loyalty, not your little time card whining." It got ugly fast. He starts pacing, ranting about how back in his day cooks worked till dawn for the love of it, not a paycheck. I bite back, "Yeah, well, rent wasn't $1,200 back in your day either." Dee snickers from the dining room, but Vic's face goes red. "You want to be a diva? Fine. Don't expect me to stick my neck out for you." He storms off, slamming the office door so hard the Springsteen skips a beat. I cleaned the fryer anyway, didn't want the team screwed, but I clocked out at 12:01 and left. Now it's a mess. Vic's barely speaking to me, just grunts and glares when he hands me tickets. Dee says he's been griping to her about entitled kids, and the other cooks are split. Miguel's on my side, muttering about unionizing over his huevos rancheros, but Tara's pissed, saying I've made Vic stricter with everyone. Yesterday he posted the schedule with me on graveyard shifts all week, petty as hell. Customers don't care, they're still raving about my hat browns on Yelp, but the kitchen's tense, like we're all waiting for a grease fire nobody can put out. I feel kinda bad. The ladle's a dump, but it's our dump and I don't want it to implode. Vic's a jerk sometimes, but he did give me a shot when I had zero experience. Maybe I could have sucked it up longer, pitched in for the team. But I'm not a doormat. Working for free isn't loyalty, it's exploitation, right? Still, I'm the guy who rocked the boat, and now I'm Diva Dan behind the grill. So Reddit AITA for telling my boss no more unpaid overtime even if he's calling me a non-team player? So, I got a promotion at work, and instead of popping champagne with the crew, I went home to crash because I was dead on my feet. Now they're whispering I'm some stuck-up jerk who thinks I'm too good for them. ITA for skipping the celebration even though it's got everyone side-eyeing me? I'm a junior curator at this oddball museum called the Cork Vault, a ramshackle building off a highway that's half roadside attraction, half legit archive. We've got everything from a taxidermy two-headed calf to a collection of haunted dolls that stare at you from glass cases. It's me, a handful of misfits, and our director, Lenore, who wears velvet capes unironically and keeps a tarantula named Poe in her office. I started as a tour guide 2 years ago, stumbling through scripts about cursed teapots, but I've clawed my way up, cataloging artifacts, designing exhibits, even convincing Lenore to let me redo the Victorian hair art display with better lighting. My desk's a chaos of coffee rings, old exhibit notes, and a fidget spinner I spin when I'm overthinking. The team's a weird bunch, but we click. There's Sam, a lanky goth who runs the gift shop and doodles skulls on receipts. Priya, our conservator who hums Bollywood tunes while gluing broken pottery. And Carlos, the maintenance guy who swears the dolls move at night. We've got this ritual. Any win, big or small, gets a toast at the Rusty Bucket, a dive bar down the road with sticky tables and a bartender who calls everyone Han. When Priya fixed a cracked vase, we drank cheap beer. When Sam sold out of bat-shaped keychains, we did tequila shots. It's our thing. Last week, Lenore called me into her office, post-skittering across her desk and said, "You're senior curator now. Don't screw it up." I'd been gunning for it, staying late to relabel the cursed object's wing, pitching ideas like a steampunk clock exhibit. I was stoked but wrecked. Weeks of 10-hour days, plus a cold that left me chugging Dayquil like it was water. I mumbled a thanks, expecting Lenore to shoo me out, but she grinned and said, "Tell the team. They'll want to celebrate." I nodded, shuffled back to the break room, a closet with a sagging couch and a microwave that sparks, and broke the news. Sam hooped, Priya clapped, Carlos offered me a fist bump. "Rusty bucket tonight," Sam yelled, already texting the group chat, #Vault vibes. But I was toast. My head throbbed, my eyes felt like sandpaper, and all I could think about was my couch and a rerun of The Office. "Guys, I'm wiped," I said, rubbing my neck. "Can we rain check?" Sam's grin faltered. "What, too big for us now?" he teased, but his tone had an edge. Priya chimed in, "Come on, one drink." I shook my head. "Seriously, I'm dead. Next time." I grabbed my bag and bolted before it got weirder. Next day, the air's off. Sam barely grunts when I say hi. Priya's humming but won't meet my eyes, and Carlos mutters something about fancy titles while unclogging the sink. The group chat's silent. No memes, no congrats, just a void. By lunch, I overhear Sam at the gift shop telling a tourist, "Yeah, new senior curator's too cool to hang with us grunts." Priya corners me later by the haunted dolls, arms crossed. "We were excited for you, you know?" Felt like a snub. I stammer, "I was just tired." But she shrugs and walks off. Even Lenore notices, asking if I've stirred the crypt with the team. I get it, they're proud of me and I bailed on tradition. The vault's a family, and I've been part of the glue. But I wasn't flexing or trying to flex. I was a zombie who needed sleep, not beer. Now I'm arrogant Alex, and the break room's a ghost town when I walk in. Maybe I should have sucked it up, chugged an energy drink, and gone. Or maybe they're overreacting. I mean, it's one night, not a betrayal. Still, the vibe's sour and I'm second-guessing myself. So, Reddit AITA for not celebrating my promotion with my team because I was exhausted, even though they're calling me arrogant? So, I told my manager I wasn't training the new guy because it's not my job. And now everyone's acting like I'm some heartless diva who kicked a puppy. ITA for refusing even though it's got the whole crew calling me selfish? I'm a barista at this place called Bean Bonanza, a coffee truck parked in a gravel lot next to a farmer's market that smells like wet hay and fresh bread. It's a beat-up silver rig with a chalkboard menu, a dented espresso machine we call OL Grumpy, and a speaker blasting indie playlists on loop. I've been here a year, slinging lattes and perfecting my foam art. Little hearts, ferns, once a wonky cat that went viral on Insta. It's me, my manager Tara, a wiry redhead who lives in yoga pants, and a rotating cast of part-timers who usually quit when they realize 5 a.m. shifts aren't chill. I'm the steady one. Always early, apron ironed, with a Sharpie tucked behind my ear for labeling cups. The truck's a tight ship. Tara handles orders and cash, I grind beans and steam milk, and we've got this rhythm, think dance routine, but with more caffeine and less grace. Newbies usually shadow her. She's got the patience of a saint and a knack for explaining why you don't pour oat milk straight into the grinder. Yes, that happened. Me? I'm not a teacher. I'm the keep the line moving guy, juggling 3 pour-overs while old Grumpy hisses like it's possessed. Last month, Tara hired Ethan, this gangly dude with a beanie and a vibe like he's perpetually lost. He's nice enough, asks about my foam art, laughs at my dumb depresso espresso jokes, but he's green. Spilled a macchiato on day 1, asked where's the sugar 5 times, basic stuff. Friday rolls around, and Tara pulls me aside while I'm wiping down the counter, coffee grounds stuck under my nails. "Hey, can you train Ethan today? I've got a vendor meeting." I blink. Isn't that your thing?" She sighs, rubbing her temples. "Yeah, but I'm swamped. Just show him the ropes. Grinder, steamer, easy. I frown, leaning on the counter. Tara, I'm not a trainer. I've got my hands full keeping Grumpy from exploding. She snaps, come on. Don't be difficult. Team effort. I shake my head. Not my job. You hired him, you train him. Her eyes narrow, but she mutters, fine, and storms off to grab Ethan. Cue the drama. Ethan's fumbling through the shift, spilling espresso shots while Tara's gone, and I'm grinding beans like it's an Olympic sport to keep up. Customers are grumbling. Some lady in a sun hat yells, where's my cappuccino? And Ethan's just staring at the steamer like it's a spaceship. I don't step in. I'm not his babysitter. Tara gets back, sees the chaos, and glares at me like I torched the truck. You couldn't help him out? She hisses. I told you, not my gig. I say, pouring a latte. She throws her hands up. That's selfish, dude. We're a team. Word spreads fast in a 10-foot truck. By Monday, Ethan's avoiding me, mumbling to Tara about figuring it out solo. The part-timer, Jazz, a punk chick with blue bangs, side-eyes me and says, harsh move, man. He's drowning. Even the regulars pick up the vibe. One guy, Dave, who always gets a black drip, asks, you mad at the new kid or something? I'm still cranking out drinks, foam art on point, but the air's thick. Tara's short with me now, dumping extra cleanup on my plate. Passive-aggressive stuff like, oh, since you're so busy, I'll handle Ethan. Yesterday, she left a sticky note on Grumpy. Teamwork makes the dream work. Subtle. I feel a twinge of guilt. Ethan's a mess, and yeah, I could have shown him the basics. Takes me 10 minutes to explain a latte pull. The truck's a zoo without Tara, and I'm not heartless. But I signed up to make coffee, not play mentor. My paycheck's $14 an hour, not enough for extra hats. If she wanted me to train, she could have asked nicer or hell, paid me for it. Now I'm selfish Sam, and the bonanza feels less like a squad and more like a grudge match. So, Reddit AITA for refusing to train a new employee because it's not my responsibility, even if they're accusing me of being selfish?